In this video, we're going to find out if a given trinomial is a perfect square trinomial. We'll review what makes a trinomial a perfect square, look at its structure, and apply a simple test. Remember, the first and last terms must be perfect squares, and the middle term must be twice the product of their square roots. So let's go step by step and see if the given expression fits the pattern. And now let's define perfect square trinomial. So perfect square trinomial is the result of squaring a binomial. We have an example of the square of a binomial. The first one is the square of x minus 3. X minus 3 is a binomial. X is the first term, negative 3 is the second term. To find the product of the square of x minus 3, it is equal to x squared minus 6x plus 9. So the resulting product is trinomial. Next, we have square of x plus 4. Again, it is equivalent to x squared plus 8x plus 16, which this is another trinomial. Then for the third example, we have the square of 2x minus 3 equals the product, which is 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. The product of the square of a binomial is what we call perfect square trinomial. But how do we determine if the given trinomial is a perfect square trinomial? Perfect square trinomial if the first term is perfect square, and also the last term or the third term of the trinomial is also a perfect square. Meaning, a perfect square trinomial if the first term and the last term or the third term is perfect square. When we say perfect squares, we have the numbers 1, 4, 9, 25, 36, 49, 81, and so on. So those are perfect square. So again, first term and last term must be perfect square. Now, how about the middle term? So the middle term is twice the product of the square root of the first and last term. So meaning, we twice or we multiply it by 2. Say for example, we have this trinomial x squared minus 6x plus 9. So let's observe the given trinomial. We have the first term x squared. It is perfect square, while the last term is 9, also a perfect square. But we must also check the middle term of the given trinomial if it is twice the product of the square root of the first and the last term. Now, to check the middle term, we're going to find the square root of the first term, which is x squared, and the square root of 9, which is the last term. Okay, square root of x squared is x, while the square root of 9 is 3. And then, to check the middle term, we must multiply it by 2 because we twice the product of the square root of first and the last term. So we have 2 times the x and 3. So 2 times x times 3 equals 6x, which is it matched to the middle term of the given trinomial. Therefore, it is perfect square trinomial.
Okay, para may apply natin yung factoring of perfect square trinomial, kailangan muna nating malaman na yung trinomial natin ay perfect square trinomial or not. So let us check the following trinomials, which of them are perfect square trinomial. Okay, so we have this one, x squared minus 4x plus 2. Okay, is this a perfect square trinomial or not? Based on the previous slides, first term and the last term must be perfect square. Okay, how about this trinomial? X squared is a perfect square. Okay, correct. How about last term, which is 2, which is not perfect square? So therefore, this is not perfect square trinomial because the last term is not perfect square. Okay, number 2, x squared minus 8x plus 16. Then we're going to check whether it is perfect square trinomial or not. Okay, based on the given explanation or slides, we have x squared, which is the first term, must be perfect square. Then the last term 16 must be also perfect square. check, and check. Okay, how about the middle term? Okay, so let's find out. The middle term is twice the product of the square root of the first and the last term. So we need to find the square root of x squared, which is the first term, and square root of 16, which is the last term. Square root of x squared is x, square root of 16 is 4. Then twice, meaning we multiply 2 times x times 4. 2 times x times 4 is equal to 8x. Okay, so ibig sabihin, nagmatch yung middle term. Therefore, this is perfect square trinomial. X squared minus 10x plus 25. A perfect square trinomial or not? Okay, so let us check. First term, x squared is a perfect square. Okay, correct. Then 25, which is the last term, is a perfect square. Correct. How about the middle term? Okay, let's find out. We're going to twice the product of the square root of the first and the last term. So square root of x squared is x. Square root of 25 is 5. Twice means 2 times. 2 times x times 5. 2 times x times 5 is equal to 10x. Okay, so therefore the middle term is correct. Therefore, this trinomial is perfect square trinomial. 4x squared minus 10x plus 9. The first term is 4x squared. This is perfect square. Last term is 9, which is also a perfect square. They are both correct. How about the middle term? Okay, again, we squared the first term for x squared, and that is 2x. Square root of 9 is 3. And then twice. Twice the product of the square root of the first term and the last term. So therefore, we have 2 times 2x times 3. So 2 times 2x times 3 is equal to 12x. Okay, so note that the middle term of the trinomial is not correct. So therefore, this is not perfect square trinomial. Okay, so since alam na natin kung paano mag-determine ng perfect square trinomials, then we are ready to factor perfect square trinomials. We have two steps on how to factor perfect square trinomial. Okay, so let's have this example number 1. Factor x squared minus 10x plus 25. Okay, so we have some steps to follow on how to factor perfect square trinomials. Okay, letter A, get the square root of the first and the last term. Okay, we have square root of x squared, that is x. Square root of 25 is 5. And then the next step is to list down the square root as sum or difference of two terms as the case may be. Okay, so the answer here is x minus 5 times x minus 5 since the middle term is negative. It is equal to the square of x minus 5. Okay, why negative? Kasi yung middle term ng trinomial natin is negative. Okay, so next, let's have this another example. Factor n squared plus 16n plus 64. Okay, the first step is to get the square root of the first and the last term. Okay, so square root of n squared is n. And square root of 64 equals 8. Then next, list down the square root as sum or difference of two terms as the case may be. So in this example, we have n plus 8 times n plus 8. Okay, so I use positive sign because the middle term of the trinomial is positive, or it is square of n plus 8. Okay, so let's have another example. Example number 3. Factor x squared minus 4x plus 36. Okay, so if you're going to check that trinomial, whether it is perfect square trinomial or not, the first term is perfect square, correct? The last term is 36, which is also perfect square, correct? Okay, but we're going to check the middle term, which is negative 4. Okay, we'll find the square root of the first term, which is x. Square root of 36 is 6. Then twice the product of the square root of the first and the last. So 2 times x times 6 is 12x. Okay, so hindi sila nag-match. So ibig sabihin, this is wrong. Okay? The middle term is wrong or not perfect square trinomial. So we cannot apply the factoring of perfect square trinomial. So we're going to try another method. Okay, I think you're ready for the activity. So let's have activity number 1. Supply the missing term to make a true statement. Okay, so we have the following trinomials. And then next, activity number 2. Okay, so in activity number 2, we're going to find the factor of the following polynomials. Okay, we're going to apply the factoring of perfect square trinomial.
So that is how to factor perfect square trinomials. And that's all for now. Thank you for watching. So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.